Update. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend for suggesting an open relationship and not letting her explain? Original post. My girlfriend of about 5 years recently suggested an open relationship. I know what it is, but just in case I misheard, I asked her to elaborate. And yeah, pretty much what you would think. She wanted us to be able to have sex with others. I took a deep breath and said that we were done. I've seen and heard stories about open relationships and know that there's no way in hell I'd ever want one. She tried to take it back, but I told her that the fact she had the nerve to even ask is a deal breaker. FYI, we had never done anything with another person, and I have never suggested any of it. So there's no way I ever gave her any hints. This isn't something I'd want. I didn't even listen to her and just ignored her as she kept trying to explain and apologize. I just packed some stuff and went to stay with my parents. She's been trying to call me, but honestly, I feel like asking for an open relationship is basically asking for permission to cheat. Now for the comments before reading the update. In hindsight, she could have been a POS and just cheated on you. She didn't, and she came to you knowing you breaking up with her was a possibility. I applaud her honesty, but at the end of the day, you have the right to leave. Applaud her for doing the bare minimum, the absolute bare minimum of not cheating on me? Realistically, there was likely emotional cheating at least already. It seems typical that when this is suggested, the woman already has a partner in mind. Good for you. I applaud your self-respect for staying true to your values. Just wait. After she realizes you're not coming back, you'll see who she wanted to cheat with pop up in her socials. Yeah, when someone who has never expressed any interest in an open relationship suddenly wants one, at best, there's someone waiting in the wings, and at worst, they've already cheated and want to make it acceptable. That's how my first marriage ended. My now ex-wife started suggesting an open marriage, but said she had nobody in mind. She just wanted the option hypothetically. However, she'd been hanging out with the one single guy in our local friend group and hid it from me, so I immediately knew what was happening. She denied it completely. We mutually agreed to end things, and she immediately began dating him officially. 6 months later, she wanted to vent about him to me, and I said I didn't want to hear it. She made her bed. I was out of there, much happier afterwards. It was a blessing in disguise, and I met my new wife a couple of years later, and we've been together over 10 years. Yup, similar. My ex-wife and I had been having issues for a while. One night she hung out with an old high school friend. She came home and proposed being open. I originally thought it wouldn't be that bad. Years earlier, we had a one-time MMF action with a co-worker of hers. Might have turned ongoing, but he got weird in general and relapsed on something and left town. But either way, we never had any issues between us over it. Anyway, she began sleeping with him immediately. It hurt me worse than I thought, and she kept vetoing me doing anything with anyone else. Because despite sleeping with another guy regularly, she wasn't ready for me to do the same yet. Finally, another girl sent me a topless pic. My wife flipped out completely, told me I had to cut the other girl out of my life completely, and she would consider not sleeping with her friend for a while we figured things out. I literally walked into the bathroom, looked at myself in the mirror and thought, I can't do this. I can't be a man okay with his life being like this. Ended up leaving the next day. For the record, my ex-wife wasn't a horrible person. She just became so selfish and hypocritical. She wanted her cake and eat it too. She wanted to be able to have her fun and yet come home to a completely loyal husband. I was fine with it being open both ways, though didn't prefer it. I was fine just closing the relationship. I couldn't do what she wanted, authorized cheating. That was a wild left turn at the end. My ex-wife isn't a horrible person. She's just a selfish hypocrite with a collection of the worst personality traits possible for a human being to possess, who controlled me and treated me like garbage. You make fair points, but my ex-wife was my best friend for 4 years before we even dated. We went through a lot together. I try really hard to not be that guy and make it out like my ex was crazy and I was a saint because I wasn't. In this situation, she was a terrible person, and it brought out all her worst traits. Now for the update a few weeks later, so I had to see her again at our old place, since a lot of my stuff was there. She did try to convince me again that she didn't mean it and that she didn't need an open relationship. Honestly, reading the comments from my last post kind of helped me prepare for this, to be honest. I had an idea as to what to expect. I told her some things you just can't take back. Some questions just can't be unheard. She did try to explain again, but honestly, I ignored her as best I could. I just don't feel safe with her anymore. I don't feel comfortable staying with someone who even wants to explore this. Like the idea that she wanted to go out and bang others, come back and act like nothing happened, genuinely makes my stomach drop. Like she was 100% okay with that? I did some self-reflection and asked, would I ever ask her something like that? No, I really wouldn't. I feel like some things just change the way you see people. I mean, if I told her I want her to get cosmetic surgery, she'd be hurt. I know she would. It's something fundamental in you, like you're not good enough for your partner, and they actively want to change you or your relationship. I don't know. I am sad this happened, but I don't regret it. Reading your other thread, she said she didn't have anyone in mind. No, she absolutely did. She said she didn't mean it. No, she absolutely did. Good on you for having a spine and dumping that trash. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Bet as soon as you broke up, she called the new piece and it wasn't what she liked, so now she's like, oh, we don't have to do that now. The other dude was just trying to bang a married chick without taking all the husband responsibilities, like paying all the rent, utilities, dating expenses, cars, and all the headaches from a marriage. Once the girl said, he is not going for it, but I can be free, dude went, oh no, I don't want you free, not trying to be your boyfriend or husband. Then girl backtracks. Classic. Next story. Am I the a-hole if I, 31 male, pretend I don't know my fiance, 29 female, is cheating until it is convenient for me? Guys, I need help here, and need help and advice. I am finishing my last 6 months or so in medical school, at which point I will be moving on to my residency in my specialty. I have been with my fiancée Amy since high school. She has been my rock and supported me a ton through all of my schooling. I did work for a few years before deciding to go back for my MD. Here is where this gets messy. Earlier today, I ran over in a gap in my day because I forgot my laptop charger. I knew Amy was home because her car was in the driveway. I headed on in and heard her in the bedroom, with the unmistakable sounds of sex happening. I snuck around the corner enough to see her with a guy I had never seen before going at it. She was banging another guy in my bedroom, in my bed. My stomach just dropped, and I left before they saw me. I had no idea what to do. Now, to be clear, I am done. My question is not so I break up with Amy. Absolutely I do, but here is my question, and I'm not sure what to do. I can't afford to not have her help support me and stay where we are. My name is the one on the lease, but I can't afford it. So do I say screw it and break up, not knowing how I can afford to pay for living and finishing 6 months? Or do I just pretend I have no idea and use this time to finish and prepare my escape? What the heck do I do? I am crashing with a buddy from school tonight, but I don't know that I can do that forever. She thinks I am just doing a cram session and has no idea I was there or saw them. Does it make me the a-hole if I use these last 6 months as payment for her cheating? Not the a-hole. Use her. She is using you. No harm, no foul. It will be hard to keep your mouth shut, and what are you going to say when she wants sex? Good luck. Honestly, I haven't even thought that far ahead. I think I'm just so angry that I just want to make the best situation for me and set me up for success without her. Dick move? Maybe. I'm just furious. Just quietly stop having sex, assuming you don't want to continue. Pretend like you didn't even notice how much time has passed. When she brings it up, say you're just not feeling it, but keep it casual. Basically, you're just gonna try to sell her that your libido's low, maybe due to finals or something. If you need a more involved explanation, you could say you started taking antidepressants or something, but I don't know if that fits with your life. But dude, for the next 6 months, you will be kissing this gal, and maybe she had someone else's junk in her mouth like an hour before. Are you sure? You raise a very valid point. Get tested for STDs now. My friend's wife got herpes and tried to blame it on him, but when he was tested and came back negative, she had to tell him she had been cheating on him. I mean, this girl tried to spread that he was a cheater and everything. Crazy. Next story. Am I the a-hole for recording my friend's fiance at her bachelorette party and playing the recording for him? I was invited to the bachelorette party from my friend's fiance. It was over the long weekend at a vacation rental on the beach. There was booze, a hot tub, great food. It was definitely a hit. At one point, I was on the deck looking at the ocean, and the bride was drunk in the hot tub with two of her friends. She said she felt more relaxed than she had in a while. I assumed she was referring to wedding planning. One of her friends asked if she was having trouble with the little monster. She said no, that he was manageable for now. At that point, I realized they were talking about my friend's son. I took out my phone and started recording them. The bride's friend said horrible stuff about my friend's son, and the bride responded positively to everything, laughing and agreeing. Then she said that it was too bad he wasn't old enough to send to military school. I stopped recording when their topic changed. I don't think they ever realized I was close enough to hear them. When we got back, I asked to meet with my friend, and I played him the recording. He was quiet while he listened. After the recording was finished, he asked me to send it to him, which I did. Then he asked me to delete it, which I said I would do but haven't yet. I feel like an a-hole for interfering. I really do. However, I'm worried about my friend's son. Depending on what my friend does, I might need to send this recording to the poor boy's family. I feel like I've overstepped, but what else can I do? Was I being an a-hole? Now for the comments. I get why you feel conflicted, but protecting that little boy matters more than some social boundary. If someone was trashing my kid like that, I'd want to know too. And that's a huge red flag, especially when marriage and potentially a future co-parenting role is on the line. Marriage changes dynamics, and if the bride feels this way now, imagine how it could escalate once they're married. That kid deserves better. You weren't being an a-hole, you were being a concerned friend. If someone is about to marry a person who openly disrespects their child, they deserve to know. It's better he finds out now than after they're married. Not the a-hole for recording and sharing with a friend, but potentially the a-hole for keeping the recording after he asked her to delete it. The fact that she's keeping it to potentially share with more people, if her friend doesn't take the actions that she deems appropriate, is not sitting right with me at all. Not the a-hole, and hopefully he'll put his child before his junk. Worries me that he's not going to since he asked his friend to delete it. Last story. Boyfriend found an old photo of a guy with his head on my chest. Now he says I micro-cheated before we were even together. I am a 24 female and my boyfriend is 25 male. Have been in a relationship for over a year. Recently, he was going through my gallery and found a pic of a guy with me. He had his head on my chest. He was a friend, but to the best of my knowledge, neither of us had any intentions or interests in one another. Of course, I can't speak for him fully. I wasn't even aware that I had this pic. I genuinely didn't think anything of it. He deleted the pic as soon as he saw it and deleted it from recently deleted folder. Just for context, the date on the picture was a little over a month before we became official. He got upset but dismissed the matter. Days later, he brought it up again, and I explained that I didn't have any intentions of being with this guy. I apologized saying it was wrong, and it's not right for someone to have access to me like that, especially someone I have no intentions of being intimate with. I'm generally a very friendly person, and I'm always hugging everyone, even the homeless. I knew it's something that would be an issue in due time, and it's something I've been working on. We fought. He broke it up. I went over to his house we made up, and he apparently forgave me. Days later, he brought it up again and made me apologize for micro-cheating on him and being disloyal, and that I betrayed his trust. I first explained that it can't be any form of cheating because we weren't official, though we would go on dates and stuff. In the beginning, he used to give slight hints of not wanting a relationship, but that's besides the point. Even then, I didn't want this person in the picture at all. I proceeded to apologize for the micro-cheating, the betrayal and everything, because it was getting exhausting. But later it didn't sit right with me, and I told him I'm only apologizing for giving someone access to me like that, because I know it isn't right. but I'm taking back every other part of my apology that says I acknowledge the micro-cheating and being disloyal. As much as I do realize that it hurt him, I don't think I owed him loyalty during the talking stage. I chose to be loyal to him at the time nonetheless, because he was the only person I was talking to, but I don't believe I owed it to him. Now he is saying he can't look past it and can't view me the same. He can't get the mental picture of another guy on my boobs. He feels deeply hurt and doesn't understand how I feel I didn't owe him loyalty. My thinking is messed up. Please advise me. How do I handle this situation? Am I the a-hole? He's establishing a precedent that you are a transgressor and less than in this relationship. He wants you perpetually on the back foot and scrambling to earn your place as his girlfriend. This is a calculated undermining of your self-esteem. Exit now before it really starts to work. Please listen to this, OP. I experienced this and was mentally exhausted for 2 years. I finally had to break it off when I realized every time I did something new wrong. His phrase was, I can let it go, this time. Don't let this guy any further into your head. He's creating a situation where you owe him for forgiving you so he can behave horribly without you being able to defend yourself because you owe him. He'll be able to justify all jealousy and control because, according to him, you cheated on him. Not the a-hole and go far away. Run. See this for what it is. He is a controller. He cannot get past something that preceded your time with him. Red flag city. He is not the one for you. Please leave him be and let him know that you cannot be with anyone that does not trust you. Period. Please block him as he will continue to win you back and control you. Absolutely this. My ex-husband used to get so hung up on a guy that I casually dated before him. It's been more than 15 years, and apparently it is still something he thinks or talks about. We haven't even been together for over 7 years, and his current fiance has heard about this guy. Someone I never think about anymore, and who my ex never even met. When we were together, he tried to throw it in my face all the time, even though I was 100% not in the wrong. Run, OP. It's not worth it.